Hello, aliens. Welcome to our channel. Do me a favor and imagine a car, a SUV, or even a van, in fact. What do you see? A metallic body with some kind of aerodynamic design sitting on top of a set of wheels, right? Now, imagine an UFO. What shape do you see? A saucer shape? A tic tac mint shape? Well, what if I tell you that's not it? There are so many other weird shapes of UFOs out there with some super weird characteristics that didn't make the headlines. Hey, I'm Heyman,
I'm Arvind.
and this is not just UFO.
Flying saucer or a disc is what you would imagine when you think about a UFO. But in reality, they come in a variety of shapes and sizes. The most famous one is the tic tac shaped UFO observed in the Nimitz incident. They look cylindrical and also sometimes called a cigar shaped UFO. The sizes of these crafts are usually compared to that of a typical school bus. The most famous Roswell crash had a wedge or a boomerang shaped craft. Its size has been compared to that of a medium sized car. And Phoenix Lights, Arizona incident that had a large triangular shaped craft. This was actually a huge craft, approximate at least a mile in length. TR-3B Black Manta is often claimed as a man made reverse engineered craft. It is triangular shaped and has visibly distinct edges to it.
TR3B Black Manta? That sounds like a cool name. I'm sure Lockheed Martin or one of those defense contractors would already have a patent on this.
UFO whistleblower Michael Herrera claims to have seen an octagon shaped craft with a pyramid shaped structure at its top. It has well defined geometric surface and supposedly the craft's color changed between black and matte black. The most recent UFO that got reported at Eglin Air Force Base was a acorn shaped craft. Some compared its shape with that of a Millennium Falcon craft from Star Wars.
That's cool.
Yeah, there was an egg-shaped or a teardrop-shaped UFO recovered at a crash site in Peru. This was reported by the whistleblower Jonathan. He also mentioned the craft was leaking some kind of a liquid which made it really colorful. And dragon UFOs, and they are its own category. Like they have that name due to their small size and a resemblance to the dragonfly. These UFOs are often sighted when there are conventional flying objects. Like they seem to fly around these crafts and seem to make some observations about the flying object. They frequent like air shows and could be spotted using a camera with very high frame rate. And
When you said dragon, I thought a real dragon shaped UFO. It's a dragonfly, is it?
yeah, something like a dragonfly.
It's still a cool shape.
Yeah. If you feel these choices aren't enough for you, then we have like spears, rotating cubes, sunflower seed shaped UFOs, jellyfish shaped UFOs, and even one that looks like a chandelier.
Wow, is that good enough or what? One thing we can definitely learn from these UFOs is that we should come up with different shaped UFO the next time we make movies. Other UFO needs more representations and we shouldn't group them as just flying saucers. Looking at this immense variety of UFOs, I feel either the ET engineers and designers are not talking to one another or they might literally be coming from different planets.
Most of these UFOs that get sighted are of sizes that are easy to comprehend and comparable to a known object sizes like a car or a school bus. But occasionally, people do report witnessing very large sized UFOs, some even as big as a whole city. And apparently, there is a really large UFO that crashed long back. And when they found it, instead of transporting it, they just decided to build a building right on top of that. Information about the exact building is not yet disclosed, but would be mind blowing to even just think how something like that could even be pulled off.
They took the word cover up to a whole new level here.
Considering the stark difference in the craft sizes, makes me really wonder if these crafts are some kind of a mothership and the smaller ones are like some scouts which are trying to understand what's happening. We can only wonder.
Well, I hope we really get answers someday and not just wonder all the time. Now let's talk about the movement of these UFOs.
UFOs can move seamlessly between air, water, and space. Sometimes they are observed to even pass through solid objects, like going through and inside mountains as if the solid matter doesn't exist. We also have crafts observed traveling underwater. They are called USOs, which is nothing but unidentified submersible objects. They don't make any splash when they enter or exit a water body. They also seem to be unaffected by the drag caused by the water while moving at speeds unimaginable. These USOs are a common sight, especially around the nuclear submarines.
Hold on, wait. What's up with the UFOs and their affection towards anything nuclear, right? If you're wondering this, we do have a dedicated episode about this. Do check it out.
We have to remember that more than 70% of Earth's surface is covered by ocean, but still remains mostly unexplored. We have explored more about the outer space than what lies beneath our ocean right here on Earth. I wouldn't be surprised if we suddenly find a whole new civilization coexisting with us right under our ocean. The main reason why it is so difficult to explore our ocean is due to the immense water pressure one would experience while deep diving. The recently imploded Ocean Gate submarine that went to explore Titanic wreckage is definitely a reminder of the challenge we face if we try going deep.
I feel the most fascinating thing about these UFOs is that matter doesn't seem to matter to them. They just move as if solid or liquid doesn't exist.
And we are not afraid going deep about UFOs here.
I always think about this. Have you ever wondered what it's like to be inside of an UFO?
People have reported the inside to be bigger than the outside. While investigating a particular crash site, an investigator entered the UFO that was the size of a typical school bus, but after he went in, he saw the interior to be the size of a football stadium, something like a TARDIS in Doctor Who. This investigator felt nauseous and disoriented when he came out of the UFO. He thought he was inside the UFO for just a couple of minutes, but when he stepped out, he realized 4 hours just like that passed away. Time seemed to run slower while he was inside that UFO.
Oh, yeah, just like the other day you told me how you felt when you were waiting for your wife to choose her shoes.
This has been a common theme reported by people who have had experienced close encounter with a UFO. They have the report. They report the case of a missing time. It is a known fact that time runs slower when near a massive object like a black hole, which can really distort space time. These UFO crafts are theorized to use some form of anti gravity technologies that seem to do the same type of distortion. Maybe that's the reason why it is always a blurry image or a video when people try to record them using a camera.
That makes a lot of sense.
And its effect doesn't stop just with people, but it also affects plants or other vegetations. Whenever there was a UFO landing, investigators often found the landing sites had difference in the vegetation aging. The ones that were closer to the landing site aged significantly slower than the ones away from the site.
Now I badly need to find a UFO landing site. If you're like me and seeking all those anti-aging products, this is it. It's called the UFO treatment.
Oh. Now let's talk about the effects of UFOs on people. People having very close exposure with a UFO often report radiation burns or, in the worst case, even have reported aggravated cancer growth. These UFOs seem to give out some form of radiation signature that seem to be very harmful to us. Though UFOs are mostly silent, without any traditional noises that man made crafts make, they do sometimes make a buzzing sound like that of a bass guitar, or what you would hear when you are near a electric grid station. Generally, UFOs seem to camouflage itself with some stealth technology, making it difficult to sight through visible spectrum, but still observable through infrared or thermal imaging. At the same time, what is so weird is that people have often associated these colorful lights around these UFOs, which makes us wonder if they want to be seen or they don't want to be seen.
Well, sounds like insecurity to me. Maybe when they want to take a break, they pull over and turn these fancy lights on. just to indicate to us so they don't get any tickets from the space patrol or even worse, getting shot down by the crash retrieval team.
Not all UFOs seem to be a physical object. Sometimes they just seem to be orbs, plasmas floating in space. People have reported seeing spears of light floating, sometimes a bright light that appears out of nowhere and moves around or follows them. To give a specific incident, there were two US military personnel managing an area handling nuclear weapons. They reported seeing a bright sphere of the size of a super Walmart store. They also had interaction with some beings while they were near this UFO.
Wow, that sounds unimaginably crazy to me. I hope those aliens gave some sort of explanation.
Yeah, you can only hope. Makes me wonder if these are projections from a higher dimensional space that we don't interact with at all. Maybe we are just like living in a holographic projection.
Well, adds to the craziness. Hey, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.